What if some of the foods you eat every week, foods marketed as healthy, are actually accelerating how fast you age? It's easy to assume aging is purely genetic, that how you look and feel at 65 or 70 is mostly out of your control. That explanation is incomplete. In reality, the foods on your plate are either slowing down cellular aging or speeding it up. And several foods widely recommended as good for you after 60 are among the worst offenders. Here's the encouraging part: these effects are not permanent. Identify the foods working against you. Replace them with ones that protect your cells, and you shift the balance in your favor. In this video, we'll cover 3 foods research suggests you should stop eating after 60, followed by 2 powerful replacements that support healthier aging starting today. Before the list, it helps to understand why this matters at the cellular level. As we age, the body becomes more vulnerable to something called glycation, a process where sugar molecules bind to proteins and fats, forming harmful compounds known as advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. That acronym is no coincidence. AGEs damage collagen, the protein that keeps skin firm and joints flexible. They also increase oxidative stress and inflammation, 2 of the central drivers of aging in every organ system. Research published in the Journal of the American Dietetic Association found that dietary AGEs are a significant contributor to chronic inflammation in older adults. The foods you eat directly influence how many of these compounds circulate in your body. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Once you know which foods drive this process, you can make informed choices. Number 1, sugary, heart healthy breakfast cereals. The first food to reconsider is one many people over 60 have eaten for decades: breakfast cereal labeled heart healthy or high in fiber. These products sit front and center in supermarket aisles, packaging promising whole grains, low fat, cholesterol management. The reality is quite different. Most commercial breakfast cereals are loaded with added sugars, sometimes 4 to 5 teaspoons per serving, and refined grains that digest almost as fast as table sugar. When that hits the bloodstream, it triggers a sharp insulin response. Repeated insulin spikes accelerate glycation over time. They damage collagen and elastin, the 2 proteins most responsible for keeping skin firm, joints supple, and blood vessels flexible. What makes this especially misleading is the marketing. Many of these cereals carry heart check labels while quietly feeding the very inflammation that harms cardiovascular health. The safer breakfast is built around protein and healthy fats, foods that stabilize blood sugar instead of disrupting it. More on that replacement shortly. Number 2, processed lean deli meats. The second food to remove from your regular rotation is processed deli meat, even the varieties labeled lean, low sodium, or natural. Turkey slices, chicken breast, lean ham, they sound harmless. But the issue isn't the animal protein, it's what happens during processing. To extend shelf life and preserve color, most deli meats are treated with nitrates and nitrites. In the body, these compounds can convert into nitrosamines, linked to cellular damage and increased oxidative stress. A study published in the journal Aging and Disease identified processed meat as one of the dietary factors most strongly associated with elevated inflammatory markers in older adults. Chronic low grade inflammation is now understood to be one of the primary accelerators of biological aging. The problem compounds with frequency. A sandwich now and then is less concerning than daily consumption, but many people over 60 rely on deli meat as a convenient, familiar protein source without realizing the cumulative effect. Convenience shouldn't cost you long term health. There are better sources of protein, just as easy, that reduce inflammation instead of feeding it. Number 3, vegetable oils marketed as heart healthy. The third item isn't a single product, but a whole category: refined vegetable oils, commonly labeled heart healthy cooking oils. Soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, generic vegetable oil blends, used in everything from salad dressings to sautéing to packaged foods. They've been promoted for decades as the better alternative to saturated fat. The issue isn't that these oils are inherently toxic, it's their fatty acid composition and what happens when they're heated. These oils are predominantly omega 6 polyunsaturated fats. Omega 6 fats are essential in small amounts, but the modern diet contains them in extreme excess, often at ratios of 15 or 20 to 1 compared to omega 3. That imbalance tilts the body toward a pro inflammatory state. And when these oils are repeatedly heated, as they are in most home cooking and virtually all restaurant frying, they oxidize. Oxidized fats generate free radicals that damage cell membranes and accelerate the same glycation and inflammatory processes we've been discussing. The fix is straightforward. Stable fats that resist oxidation at high heat and naturally carry a better balance of fatty acids should become your cooking default. We'll name the best option next. So, three foods worth removing from your regular diet: sugary breakfast cereals, processed deli meats, and refined vegetable oils high in omega 6. And now let's talk about what belongs on your plate instead. These next two foods don't just avoid harm, they actively support the cellular repair processes that slow biological aging. Replacement number one: pasture raised eggs or oatmeal with berries. This fixes breakfast, and it's the easiest swap you can make tomorrow morning. Instead of boxed cereal, reach for pasture raised eggs. Prefer plant based? A bowl of steel cut oatmeal topped with fresh berries is just as powerful. Eggs were unfairly demonized for decades, but the research has shifted. They're one of the most complete proteins available, containing all 9 essential amino acids. They're also rich in choline, which supports brain function and memory, a particular concern after 60. Most importantly for aging, egg yolks contain lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that protect the eyes from age related decline. They also supply vitamin D, which gets harder to synthesize from sunlight as skin ages. If eggs aren't your thing, steel cut oats with blueberries or raspberries deliver a completely different metabolic experience than boxed cereal. The soluble fiber slows digestion and stabilizes blood sugar. The berries add polyphenols, plant compounds shown to reduce oxidative stress and support brain health. Either option gives you steady energy, no blood sugar crash, and nutrients that protect rather than damage. That's the standard every meal after 60 should meet. Replacement number two: wild caught salmon or sardines. This is the single most important protein swap you can make, trading processed deli meat for wild caught fatty fish. Salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in long chain omega 3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. These aren't the same as the omega 3s in plant sources like flaxseed. EPA and DHA are the forms your body uses directly to reduce inflammation in cell membranes throughout the body. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that higher blood levels of omega 3 are associated with slower telomere shortening. Telomeres are the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes that shorten with age. Slower shortening is one of the most direct measures of biological aging we have. Sardines offer an added advantage for bone health. Eaten whole with their small bones intact, they're one of the richest dietary sources of calcium, more absorbable than supplements for many people. Wild caught is worth checking the label for. Farmed salmon often has a different fatty acid profile due to grain based feed, and the omega 3 content can be significantly lower. If fresh fish isn't always accessible, canned wild salmon and canned sardines in olive oil are shelf stable, affordable, and just as effective. 2 to 3 servings a week is a reasonable target. Combine this swap with the breakfast switch, and you've replaced the two most common dietary sources of accelerated aging with two of the most research backed foods for slowing it down. There you have it: three foods to stop eating: sugary cereals, processed deli meats, and refined vegetable oils. And two powerful replacements: pasture raised eggs or oatmeal with berries for breakfast, and wild caught salmon or sardines for protein. None of this requires a restrictive diet or complicated meal planning. It's about swapping a few everyday items for alternatives that work with your biology instead of against it. The research is clear. Dietary choices after 60 aren't a minor factor in how you age. They're one of the most influential levers you control every single day. If you found this useful, like the video, share it with someone who'd benefit from knowing which foods to avoid, and subscribe for more practical health strategies for life after 60. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.